All right. Welcome to the Pennsylvania Association of College Admission Counseling College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in today's event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but we'll be around for the entire session to answer any questions that you might have. My name is Abby. I'm your facilitator this evening. And before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you, but you can use that Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of the many sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on our website. This presentation will also be recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Pennsylvania. And now, without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter, the University of South Florida.
Hi there, thank you, Abby. Thank you for joining us. My name is Melissa Chirac, and I am your admissions advisor. Today, I want to tell you a little bit about USF and our application process. So USF is a rather large university. We are a large metropolitan research university located in the greater Tampa Bay area of the state of Florida. We have 3 campuses that are a part of the University of South Florida: USF Tampa campus, USF St. Petersburg campus, and USF Sarasota Manatee campus. We are quite large, as I mentioned. We've got over 50,000 students as part of our total enrollment, with an undergraduate population of over 38,000. That said, across our campuses, we do try to keep our class sizes as small as possible. So our average class size is about 33 students with a student faculty ratio of 21:1. Diversity is something extremely important to us. Our university is very diverse, and the Tampa Bay region is as well. Our students come from all over. We've got students from all 50 states, over 140 different countries, and 42% of our students identify from diverse backgrounds. One thing I love about USF is where we are located. There is so much to do all the time. You never have to be bored, and it provides a wealth of opportunity for you both personally and professionally. So if you want to get out and about and enjoy the warm Florida sunshine, visit our parks, our bays, our beaches, our theme parks, or if you are interested in our cultural institutions, our performing arts centers, art galleries, museums, great restaurants, there's so much to do. But also, you've got a lot of opportunities for job experience, work experience, internships within our metropolitan region. It is extremely supportive of USF, so we've got a lot of opportunity there for you. Our students are very active within our communities, but they are also equally active on our campus. We have over 1,000 different student organizations that you can choose from, and we host over 1,000 events each year. We are a Division I athletics program underneath the American Athletics Conference, but we also have club and intramural sports as well. On the academic side, we've got over 200 different majors that you can choose from, and we have an outstanding honors college as well called the Judy Genshaft Honors College. We are big on research, so you do have that opportunity as an undergraduate student to participate in research in something you are interested in or your major as well. We also promote study abroad. We've got programs in over 35 different countries, and we do want our students to be global citizens. We also have great access, as I mentioned, to internships, but not just locally. We also have those available to you at throughout the country and globally as well. Our Tampa campus and our St. Petersburg campus do offer housing to our students. We do not mandate that you live on campus, but we do give you that option. And our freshmen are not limited to a certain style. So we've got a whole bunch of different options available to you if you are interested in living on campus. I do want to switch gears to the application process. We require 4 things for our application: an online application that you can fill out either on our website or through Common App, a $30 application fee. We also accept fee waivers from ACT, College Board, and NACAC, or if you have one through Common App. We are not a self-reporting school, so you do need to send those documents over to us. We do require your official high school transcript to be sent direct from your school to USF, and we do require test scores, so the SAT or ACT, and those do need to come directly from those testing agencies. I have also put up here our freshman profile. This is the middle 50% of our students that were admitted with us broken down by the fall and summer of our 2021 semester. So this is just a gauge for you in terms of where you may want to be. This is probably one of our most important pieces of information. USF is a rolling admissions university, but deadlines are very important to us. We start making our decisions in November for our freshman students and continue to roll them out throughout the year. Our priority deadline is December 1st. I highly, highly encourage you to meet this deadline. It is not binding, but it does provide you your best chance of admission as well as campus selection. The second biggest most important deadline within the Office of Admissions is our scholarship completion deadline. If anything, please make sure that you are completing your applications no later than January 15th so that we can consider you for our admission scholarships in our office, which went ahead, so sorry, which are located here. This is a lot of information to throw out you in a brief kind of time frame. So I do want to let you know that a lot of this information is on our website. And if you are applying or looking to apply your upcoming senior year after this summer, please check back with us at the end of summer for any updates to these different scholarships and deadlines as well. Now that I've put up scholarships, I do want to show you our cost of attendance. So our cost of attendance is listed here with our average cost for tuition and fees, room and board, books and supplies, and other miscellaneous costs to college. Our total cost of attendance for our non-Florida residents is a little over $35,000. So having those scholarships can certainly help, but we are a best value school. Our tuition and fees is quite low for the cost to college. And finally, I do just want to throw out my contact information. Again, my name is Melissa. I'm your admissions advisor. Please feel free to reach out with any questions, and I will also throw my contact information in the chat. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, University of South Florida. Next up, we have Lycoming College. We are ready for you whenever you are.
All right. Hi, everybody. I am Chris with Lycoming College. Just give me a second to get my presentation up here. Okay. All right. So as I said, I'm Chris with Lycoming College. I am actually a 2021 graduate of Lycoming. So I'm fresh, right out of the school. I was a corporate communications major, and I also wrestled at Lycoming for 4 years. So if any of you are thinking about being a student athlete, I'm definitely somebody you can reach out to and kind of see what that is going to be like for you. Some real quick things, the numbers about Lycoming, right? We are a very, very small school. So we only have about 1,200 students on campus, and, about 87% of those do live on campus all 4 years. We only have about 13% commuters. Everyone else lives on campus. One really big thing about Lycoming is our 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow you to really have a lot of face-to-face time with your faculty members, with your professors, to really make sure that you're understanding the material. They're not speeding way past you, and having you get lost. A story I like to tell is, now that I'm a professional staff member, with the school, I've been invited to, Halloween parties, Christmas parties from faculty members that, you didn't just build an academic, relationship with these people, you built a real friendship with them. That's the kind of place Lycoming really is. And then just there on the bottom, you can see, we're really proud of some of our rankings. We've made the Princeton Review's list of best 387 colleges, quite a few years in a row. So we're really proud of that. So we are a liberal arts school. And what that means is, you're going to be getting a bunch of different classes, a bunch of courses from different, disciplines on campus, and the reason we do that, the reason we think it's so important is to really broaden your worldview, right? You're going to be taking classes, you have to take a couple science classes. You might use some things you learn in those science classes over in your business courses, a way of looking at things, a way of thinking about things. And it really is invaluable experiences to be able to bring those different kind of perspectives into the workplace, once you do leave our doors. And next slide here, we have our Center for Enhanced Academic Experiences. And what that is all of our students do need to complete an enhanced academic experience. And a bunch of things can qualify for that. An internship, as you can see, field work, any kind of research with your faculty member on campus or off campus, any kind of, study abroad. We call them global study opportunities. Those count as well as having a double major or a double minor. Some of the really cool ones that we have, the student to the bottom of her two pictures there, she actually interned in the Smithsonian Museum. She was an archaeology student. She got some great opportunities down there. And the student above her is working with the CWI, or the Clear Water Institute, working with the Hellbender Salamanders, which Lycoming students actually did get named as the Pennsylvania State Amphibian. So what are you going to be doing on campus, right? As I said, I was an athlete. We do have 19 Division III athletic teams. So, we unfortunately cannot offer any athletic money for our students, but, an opportunity for you to come and continue competing in your sport. I found that really invaluable. We also have 80+ student-run clubs and organizations on campus. That can be anywhere from esports club to a religious-based club to karate club. Pretty much, if you have an interest, you can find it on our campus. And if we don't have that club, we're really receptive to getting new clubs on campus as well. All you need is a couple students to say they're interested as well, and find a faculty member to be your advisor, and you can start a club on our campus. It's that easy. And there are also a ton of different campus concerts, a campus carnival each semester. So there's always something going on at Lycoming. Just to wrap us up here, we are a test optional school. So if you don't love your test scores, you can definitely waive sending those to us just by being in the top 50% of your class. And also, we do have tons of special interest and merit-based scholarships that we offer as an institution, and all of those can be found on our website as well. Please, I will drop my information in the chat when we are done here, but please reach out to me if you have more questions about Lycoming. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Lycoming. We appreciate it. All right, next up, we have the Glion Institute of Higher Education.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Diogo Dutch. I represent Glion Institute of Higher Education. As you might be able to tell from the picture, this might not look like a familiar place in the United States. That's because we're based in Switzerland. I'm going to give you a little bit more information about this wonderful school that I've been a part of and that I represent. It is quite a relatively, niche school. We do focus on business administration with big focus in hospitality management. We are a very, very international school with over 95% international students, no predominant nationalities. So if you're coming in as an American student, you're not going to be there with other American students. You'll have students from all over the world: South America, Singapore, France, Portugal, South Africa, you name it. Your friends are going to be from everywhere. And also a little bit different from the US typical bachelor's program of 4 years. We're actually 3.5 years of a bachelor's degree. And throughout the 3.5 years, 1 full year of that, you're actually going to be on internships. So really you're 2.5 years in school, 1 year full of work experience, graduating a little bit earlier, and you're ready for the real world. It's a very small school. Smaller class sizes, no bigger than 15. Rarely do you have a class of about 30 students, and faculty to student ratio of 15:1. Even though we are in Switzerland, the program is taught entirely in English, but we ask you to also take a foreign language course. Typically, students take French just because we are in the French-speaking region of Switzerland, but we will also let you take Spanish or German. We have on-campus housing and a very, very strong alumni network. What I mean by that is that once you graduate from Glion and you're looking for a career abroad, because we are an international school and the chances of you going to another country that is not your home country are very, very high. If there's a specific place in the world that you have in mind as your dream goal, chances are very, very high that one of our alumni are based there and can maybe at least get your foot in the door for a job opportunity there. Acceptance rate is at 65%, and we do offer merit and financial aid scholarships. We are a test optional school. We're not on the Common App, but that's because we have a very specific application form It's quite easy to use, and we'll send it to you personally and kind of walk you through that application process. So just kind of go a little bit more into how our bachelor's program works. You spend one semester on campus in person at our campus in Switzerland in Glion, Montreux. That was the first picture that you saw at the beginning of this slide. And then there's even a component where you do some of the culinary practical courses at our sister institution, École du Casse, in France. You then go on to your first internship, which can be done anywhere. Come home if you'd like, but if you want to go to a new and exotic and exciting place, you can. Then you have the choice of coming back to campus to our Boule campus, also in Switzerland, or go to our satellite campus in London, or to our sister school in Marbella. You will then go in your 5th semester on another internship, and then finish your last 2 semesters at our campus in Boule or in London. We specialize in hospitality management, but we have specific, what we call specializations, but you're probably more familiar with them as known as minors. And those are luxury brand management, event management, and hotel development and finance. So just to show you a little bit of our 2 campuses, the pictures here are, of course, our Montreux campus, where you spend your first semester. Has a wonderful Michelin star rated restaurant. And then the picture that just flashed there is going to be our Boule campus, where most of our postgraduate students and our 5th semester, 7th semester students are going to be, which is in the town of Boule, which is where the famous cheese is made there, and chocolates. It's an idyllic Swiss alpine village, but with all the amenities that you need. And here's some more pictures of that Boule campus. It's about an hour and a half from our other campus and from other metropolitan areas like Lausanne and Geneva. We have a satellite campus in London that you can go to throughout the duration of your course, except for your first semester. This is a much more boutique concept. We are already a very boutique school. This is even more so if you want to specialize with luxury brand management and definitely have a career within the United Kingdom and London. And just to show you the type of recruiters that we have, of course, we are a hospitality focused school. So you are going to see some familiar names there like Ritz-Carlton, Mandarin Oriental, Hilton, Waldorf Astoria, and Intercon. But of course, you're also going to see some other companies that you typically wouldn't associate with hospitality, such as Bloomberg and CBRE, Corporate Real Estate, JP Morgan. So it's not totally limited to just working in hospitality and hotels. You can also be working in finance, for example, or technology. And just to give you a little bit of idea of campus life, because you want to have a little bit of fun when you're on campus too. We are in Switzerland, so ski is a pretty big thing. We have a lot of competitions against Les Roches, which is our sister school, in terms of skiing, as well as other sports like soccer and rugby, volleyball and tennis. We are in the heart of Europe, so on your weekends or on your weeks off, you can and you should go travel the rest of Europe. And of course, the train system within Switzerland is very accessible and very safe and reliable. So there's already so much to see within Switzerland, but you can even be in Paris in a couple of hours, or Milan or Munich. I would also encourage you to look into some of our summer programs. If you want some more information about that, so that you can live a week in the life of a Glion student, or 2 weeks if you go to our Swiss and our London campus this summer, scan the QR code there, or reach out to me at my number below and my email. I would be more than happy to talk to you about all the different options that we have. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Glion. Next up, we have the University of Pittsburgh.
Hi, everybody. My name is Adam Kaufman. I'm the Assistant Director of Recruitment at the University of Pittsburgh. I'm going to share my screen here with you and go through a slide or two that will kind of provide a little backdrop for the evening. So, like I said, University of Pittsburgh, we are located in this beautiful city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. On the screen, you can see our famous Cathedral of Learning, which is the second tallest educational building in the entire world, kind of the centerpiece of our campus. So with the 6 or so minutes that I do have with you today, I'm going to stick with that 6th theme, and I'm going to talk about our 6 first-year entry schools. So it's important to distinguish that when a student applies to the University of Pittsburgh, with very few exceptions, they are applying to a specific school rather than declaring a major or selecting a major right off the bat. What they're indicating on their application in most cases is an intended field of study. Now, the only two exceptions to that are our School of Nursing and our School of Public Health, because those do only have one major in those schools, nursing and public health, respectively. So those are the only majors. So you are essentially declaring at that point in time. Our other students, the majority of them are going to declare at a later date. So we'll kind of talk through that a little bit. We'll start with our largest school. That's our Kenneth P. Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. So the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences is about 62 or so majors in the social sciences, natural sciences, arts, and humanities. Our two most popular majors are biology and psychology, and they're both housed in this school. Our students will declare their major by the end of their sophomore year. So you do have a little bit of time, and I do want to impress upon you that it is absolutely okay to be undecided. Students in the Dietrich School very much have an opportunity to customize their education. So a lot of times they will pair a major with a minor or a certificate, maybe double major, maybe triple major. So there are a lot of different opportunities to sort of mix and match and get out of the education what you want. Our students in this school are going to have a two-tiered advising system. So they'll receive an advisor as a freshman. And then once they declare their major, they will have an advisor in that department. Our next school is our College of Business Administration. And much like arts and sciences, these students are going to declare their major by the end of their sophomore year as well. There are 7 majors to choose from, things like marketing, accounting, human resource management, finance. All of those are going to be majors that the student will have taken the introductory class in by the time they're required to select their major. So it's a great way to make sure you're choosing one that you see yourself making a career out of and that you that suits you best. Internships are a great emphasis in this school. On average, our students graduate with at least 2 internships. And some of the top employers in Pittsburgh include American Eagle Outfitters, Heinz, Ketchup, Dick's Sporting Goods, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, just to name a few. Those certainly aren't limited just to business. Our Swanson School of Engineering has 10 majors for students to choose from. They'll choose their major a little bit sooner by the end of their freshman year. So majors like mechanical engineering, environmental engineering, civil engineering, and several others. A good portion of our engineers will have graduated, but by the time they have graduated, they will have done a co-op, which is a great way to sort of intersperse some real life work experience into your classroom learning. It does come with a competitive salary as well. Our next school is our School of Computing and Information, which is relatively new within the last couple of years. There are 2 majors here for students to choose from: computer science and information science. These are majors that we've had for a long time at Pitt, but we've repositioned them into first-year entry programs because there's a little bit of a tech boom in Pittsburgh right now, a very robust job market for tech. Companies like Google, Uber, and Argo AI with the self-driving cars, Duolingo are just some of the tech companies that will hire School of Computing and Information graduates. You'll choose your major during your freshman year between, again, computer science and information science. Our next school is going to be our School of Nursing. This is probably our most competitive school. It's a direct entry program, and students will, from the moment they're in that school, they'll be a nursing major. So freshman year is going to be spending some time in working with simulated patients, a human simulation lab. And then your clinicals will start sophomore year, and you'll have 3 years of those. So those are going to be very close by. We have 6 hospitals in our neighborhood of Oakland alone, and again, an association with the aforementioned University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. Now, our newest freshman entry school is going to be the School of Public Health. Now, we have had a graduate school of public health for quite some time, but we've again repositioned that into a undergraduate school, and this fall's freshman class is actually going to be the first ever freshman class in the School of Public Health. So we're very excited about that. The COVID pandemic has taught us that public health is very much in the forefront. So we want to position our students for those opportunities for jobs and internships and research in this public health field. One thing I did neglect to mention is that our students in the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences can either graduate from that school or they will use it as a launching pad to an upper level school like pharmacy, health and rehabilitation sciences, social work, education, or the College of General Studies. If you forget everything else that I tell you tonight, one thing I do want to sort of impress upon you is to apply early. We've had our most competitive year to date, and admissions, though we do practice rolling admissions, did get very competitive this year. So my takeaway for you is to apply early, and I thank you for your time this evening.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, University of Pittsburgh. And next up, we have the Pacific University of Oregon.
Awesome. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Derek Nagley. I am one of the associate directors here at Pacific University. And we're going to kind of jump out to the West Coast as I explain a little bit about who we are and what we have to offer you. Pacific itself is out in Forest Grove, Oregon. So it's about 25 miles west of Portland. So we're a small city just outside of Portland Metro. We are still part of Portland Metro. But the amazing thing with Oregon, and the thing you hear a lot about, is this amazing landscape behind me. You're going to have that adventure here because you're able to get out into the Pacific Northwest within minutes of campus. You can be sitting on the Oregon coast within an hour, hiking in the Tillamook National Forest, which you see behind me, or heading into downtown Portland and spending the day there, and then coming back out to campus itself. And we are in what's called the Silicon Forest. So this is that kind of tech boom, business boom area in and around Portland that's growing very, very quickly. And it allows our students to be able to come in and have those interactions with the companies that are there. And as a small private liberal arts school, we offer over 75 different majors, minors, and programs to about 2,000 or about 1,900 undergraduate students. So we're going to be on the smaller side of today, but you're going to be able to find a program that you're really excited about. And the most important thing when you're applying to Pacific is you just apply to Pacific. You don't have to know exactly where you're going to go. We can start you down those paths. We're very well known for the pre-health professions and getting you into graduate school, but we have nationally and regionally ranked creative writing, education, and business programs, as well as adding brand new sports leadership and management, sports communication, and outdoor leadership majors and minors. So you're seeing a lot of growth, a lot of new programs popping up, but most importantly, that you don't have to know exactly where you're going because you'll have till the end of your sophomore year to choose that major. And no matter which of the majors you choose, again, you don't have to apply into a specific school or a specific program. You apply to Pacific. And we teach our entire college as if it's an honors college. So you don't have to find those great classes. They're coming to you. And what we mean by that is you have small classes, interaction with professors, and that you're in and out of Pacific in 4 years. Our average class size is only 19 students. Our big lecture halls seat 70 students. You're not going to be lost in a crowd. The professors are going to know your name. They're going to call on you in class. And our classes are taught by professors. Every single one of them, including the labs, is taught by a professor. We want you learning from top tier talent as you're on campus, but we also want you to be able to graduate from Pacific in 4 years, and we give our students that 4-year guarantee. Now, along with that, we start you in your programs as early as possible. So whether you're coming in with 4 different ideas in mind and you want to test them all out, or you know exactly what you want to do, as the top private research university in the Pacific Northwest, we are getting you into the field, into real life situations, writing your own books, teaching in a classroom, freshman and sophomore year of college, not waiting till you're a junior or senior. Because we know it's very important for our students to build up that resume to back up that classroom experience they're having. And this is available to every student at Pacific, not to a specific major or a specific program, but that you are able to build on that experience while you're here in the classroom and outside of the classroom as well. And with that, you can see that over 93% of our students are in graduate school on a career path or have an internship on a career path as well within 6 months of graduation, even in the craziness that is right now. We really do prepare our students after that 4-year education to be able to take that next step right away. But at the same time, we also want our students to actually enjoy themselves. So our students are very busy on campus. They're involved in a lot of different events. And whether that's joining one of our 70 different clubs and organizations on campus, which are different identity, ethnic background clubs, clubs and organizations for sports and ideas, or maybe joining in with some of our different groups like our Dungeons and Dragons Club. You're going to find your group there that you want to continue to build on. And if you have that talent that you want to build on as well, we highly encourage that. And that could be in the performing arts with music, dance, theater, and over 10 different performing arts groups, or joining in our 24 varsity intramural and club sports on campus at the NCAA Division III level. You're going to have an opportunity to build that in with your education. It's not one or the other at Pacific, but that our students are actually encouraged to do 3 or 4 different clubs and organizations, be in a sport, all while they're getting that education at the same time. We also want you to take what you're learning in the classroom into the real world. So we encourage our students to get out and again, experience that adventure that is the Pacific Northwest with our Outdoor Pursuits office, taking weekend trips, learning how to ski or surf, or actually building that into an entire major or minor. We also, over 50% of our students will study outside of Oregon at some point in their college education, with 27 study abroad sites around the world. We also have winter term classes that take trips around the world for a specific subject for 2 to 3 weeks rather than a full semester. And we also have our students mix that in with their community service, whether that's they're doing it here on campus and helping a local group, or doing one of those travel classes to help somewhere else in the world. Our students are able to take those skills that they're learning in the classroom out into the world and help in another way that way as well. And to do all of this, again, all you need to do is apply to Pacific. And the biggest thing when it comes to applying to Pacific is you're going to use the common application, and ours is completely free. So you don't have to find a specific one. You apply to Pacific. I'm going to be the person on the other end reading and working with you. So you can always reach out with lots of questions. But by applying to Pacific, you've also applied for our scholarships. And our scholarships are state blind, need blind, and non-competitive for merit scholarships. So what I mean by that is you coming from out of state have the same opportunity for scholarships and for costs as those students who are coming from in-state. If you'd like to come visit campus, you can come to one of our senior preview scholarship days in the fall and come out to campus or virtually and earn a scholarship that way, or apply for some of those talents that I was talking about earlier, like music, dance, and theater, to earn additional scholarship you can add to your academic merit scholarship, which you're automatically qualified for by admission. And again, this is me as your admissions counselor. I'll be putting my information into the chat, but I appreciate all of you listening in today and hope you learned a little bit about becoming a boxer.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Pacific University. All right, I'm going to invite all of our presenters back on camera. We have a few minutes for some Q&A and some questions that came in. So the first question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
Hi, it's Melissa with USF. So my advice would be to start ideally as early as you can. As you can tell, there's so many great colleges and universities out there that can certainly meet your needs. And we all do some things a little different. So it's important to start your search as early as you can. Stay as organized as you can and make those lists so that you're keeping track of deadlines, because it's not just going to help you with the application process, but it's also going to help you with the scholarships process, financial aid process, and then finally narrowing down between your offers.
All right. The one thing that I would say you guys should do would be just to visit a bunch of different kind of schools. Visit a school that's our size with 1,200 students. Visit a school, the size of Penn State, the size of Pitt, the size of USF. Just really figure out what kind of school you are going to do the best at and try to stick with that after you figured it out.
I'd agree with Chris. Definitely visit the school, especially my school. It's in Switzerland, so at the very least, you get a really cool vacation out of it. But I would also say, if you're not on LinkedIn, if you think that just because you're in high school, you shouldn't be on LinkedIn because you don't have enough professional experience, get on it, because it's a way for you to see alumni from the school that you want to go to or that you're interested in checking out more, to see what type of career paths that they've gone through and see if that's something that you want to do.
Chris actually took mine. It was so good that I had to scramble and think of another one, but I'm going to say use the college application process as a time to practice your self-advocacy skills, whether that be through, interacting with one of us that you're seeing here on the screen tonight, your local representative for whichever school you're applying to, or through, things like the Common App essay or any other essays that are related to the school that you're applying to. It's always good to hear from students and, again, practice self-advocating.
So one thing I always like to encourage students to do is not focus on one word, because all of us, you may have noticed, have this really obnoxious habit as colleges of renaming anything we possibly can just so we all sound very unique. And so as a student, if you're looking for that major or that specific program or club, just because it's called something at Pacific, it might be called something completely different at a different school. So just take a couple extra minutes, and even if it's something really simple, you're like, oh, there's no way they could possibly rename theater. There will be schools that somehow rename theater as a major. So just go on to Google and type, what else is this called? Or if you find a school that you're excited about, reach out and ask us, hey, I'm interested in studying this. What do you guys have? Because we probably have a similar program just listed under something else.
Great answers. Thank you. The next question is, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
So one thing I would like for everyone to remember about USF is, while USF is large, and we do have our 3 different campuses, we have our 3 different campuses for a reason. It's designed to serve our students, whether they want a large atmosphere or a small atmosphere, or kind of a mid-sized atmosphere within those communities. But as large as we are, we have so many student support services. That is what we are there for. We're here to give you a solid, a great education and degree, and to help support you along the way. So as large as we are, don't let that kind of put you off if you're trying to search for tutoring or advising or wellness or any clubs or organizations you're looking for to support you as a student, because we certainly have so many resources for you.
So on the flip side of that, we are a very, very small school. You're gonna know everybody that you graduate with. Your high school graduating class might be bigger than your college graduating class if you do decide to come to Lycoming. But with that, we do have amazing opportunities for you while you're leaving our doors. Obviously, I turned around and worked right at the school. 3 of my 4 roommates actually got jobs through Lycoming within 6 months of graduation. So, our placement rates are really good, and the size, it really does speak volumes.
With Glion, I want you to remember that we are a very international school, not just you coming abroad to study with us for 3.5 years, but the chances of you graduating and going to a different country, having a career in a different country other than your home country, it's very, very high. And that we are a great, not just hospitality school, but we give you the people skills and the actual skills through finance and marketing for a career in business administration.
So I already emphasized applying early, so you're going to get 2 for 1 from me. The other thing that I do want you to remember about the University of Pittsburgh is that moving forward, we are going to be self-reported academic record required. So we are no longer accepting high school transcripts. We require students to self-report their academic record. And while this might seem like a drastic change, it is meant to speed up the amount of time that you hear back from us. So we do think it's a great advantage for the students and their families.
I think for Pacific, if you're trying to remember that one thing, I think it's that idea of having that adventure in the Pacific Northwest where you get to be that busy student and have a really strong degree, but be able to be involved in 3 or 4 different things while you're here. You're going to have that opportunity while you come to Pacific, and not 1 or 2 students, but all of the students at Pacific get those opportunities.
And one last question this evening. We have a few minutes remaining. What is one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process?
So admittedly, I did not know much about the application process to different colleges when I was going through the application process myself. So y'all are already ahead of the game in terms of, checking out colleges and joining their presentations and ideally going to college fairs and things like that. But one thing that I definitely want to share is that we are here to support you. If you are interested in a school, please reach out to the school and learn as much as you can. There's staff there to help you. Talk to your counselors, talk to your admissions advisors throughout the process to make sure that you are getting everything that you need and that you're prepared for the application process. Any questions that you have, they need to be addressed. So make sure that you are actually speaking with us and contacting us because we are here to help and we are not scary by any means. We want the best for you.
For me, the biggest myth that I want to kind of debunk for you guys would be that, that your tests, your SATs, your ACTs are the end all be all indicator of, you getting into a good school. And that's just simply not true. I think I can speak for most of our panelists, if not all of our panelists here, by saying that, we really do look at the whole student. It's not just one thing is going to determine you. So, if you're nervous about your test scores or, maybe your GPA isn't quite where you want it to be, don't stress it too much.
I would agree 100% with what Melissa was saying. We're not out there to get you. We're not evil. We want to help you and find the best option for you. And the second thing I would say is that you're allowed to change your mind. Just because you're maybe 17, 18 years old or younger, and you think, I want to do engineering, doesn't mean you will do engineering. That was my story. I graduated high school, thought I was going to go do engineering. I went to a great school for it, but realized a year into it, it was not for me. And then I went off to go study hospitality management because eventually I found that really was my calling. It's what I was good at. I'm not trying to influence you engineering-minded people to go into hospitality. I want to find the right program for you, but it just goes to show that you are still admittedly young through this process, and there's no shame in changing your mind halfway through just to find the right program.
Yeah, and I'm going to echo what Diogo had said as well. As far as changing minds, that's something that it's not uncommon at all for students to change their major in college. So I guess the myth that I would want to debunk would be that being undecided is in any way not ideal. I think in some ways going into college with an open mind and learning self-discovery and figuring out what it is that you're truly passionate about, I think that there's something to be said for that. And, there's going to be some of us that do know right away, yeah, we want to be a certain field. We want to be a nurse. We want to be in pharmacy or business or something like that. But for those of us that don't, that's absolutely okay. You have plenty of time to write your story, and it's absolutely okay to be undecided.
I think one myth I like to always bring up is deadlines. So in high school, there's lots of deadlines, but sometimes you can turn things in a day late or turn it in for partial credit. Unfortunately, when you get to college, the biggest thing I can tell you is deadlines are money. So the longer you wait, if you miss a deadline, it can cost you thousands of dollars in scholarship. So it's really important that you do write those down. You've been hearing us say it quite a bit. Write them down, keep track of them, because it's not that we're out to get you. It's just that we have so many students we're working with. We want to give you all of the opportunities. So we say, hey, here's a deadline so that you can get all of those opportunities in front of you. The other side of that is check your email. As much as we love talking to you in person, we're also going to send you deadlines and very important links. And hey, we're missing this piece of your application. And I didn't check my email for 3 weeks. It doesn't really work as an excuse when you're applying to colleges. So get used to checking your email regularly, especially to the schools you've applied to.
Wonderful. Thank you so much to all of our panelists. I'm going to share my screen one last time as we wrap up. So thank you so much for all of our participants joining us this evening. When you close this window, there's going to be a very quick 5-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide us. We encourage you to check back at the schedule and sign up for any more sessions. And you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other sessions recordings at strivescan.com/Pennsylvania. Thank you again for joining us and have a great evening.